All right, it is another edition of the On the Mic podcast, and it's been way too long since I've talked to my guest today. Like, I think almost 2 years since I last spoke to her, which means she's probably on the big stage now, and she's done amazing things in her career. She is the one and only Hannah Guy. She fights at Bellator 259 this upcoming Friday. Hannah, how are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm good. So first and foremost, and Hannah, I'm just going to be honest with you. Like, the one thing that kind of somewhat bothers me is that, to be straight honest with you, I feel like you're going to be the fighter that gets overlooked all fight week. You're fighting Valerie Loureda, and she's the social media queen, and everybody loves her, and she is a good fighter. This takes nothing away from Valerie. But for you, when you get matched up with somebody like that, all of a sudden people just want to overlook you. Like, who's Hannah Guy? Who's this? Who's that? We see it all throughout promotions. So for you, when you got this fight scheduled, what was the first thing that went through your mind?
I'm honestly just excited to have a fight, but I didn't want to wait too long since the last one, but I was also just felt super blessed because, like, a person that, especially here in Mississippi, like, there's not a lot of opportunities like this. And as soon as I signed with like a manager, I like got a great opportunity. And so when we looked at the tapes, we just couldn't pass it up. I mean, we were looking originally for like LFA, but when we got the message about that, and then actually they messaged me on Facebook, and then I told them, hey, talk to my manager, because that's just what I always do. I don't want to mess with all that. And then he called me literally like 30 minutes later and was like, hey, I got this really good, fight possibly that you can do, but you have a choice, you can do this now, or you'll probably have a call later, whatever. But after watching the tapes, we thought it was a good move. So
do you read in or even like give into that side of things where, like, you're fighting like someone with a huge following, a big name? Like I said, like, Valerie is in her own way, she's getting kind of skyrocketed, through Bellator. Like, they're kind of making her a thing for them. Do you kind of look at that at all, or do you just look at her as another name, another opponent?
I mean, I kind of see it as an opportunity to grow my own Instagram, honestly. But other than that, I really don't care. Like, I have so many haters on Instagram. And it's funny, I was looking at it earlier, like, a lot of hate on Instagram, but like, I'm more like, my presence is more on Facebook, like it always has. For some reason, I've just grown more there. And so, I don't have any hate on Facebook. But
who would hate
Instagram.
You? Like you're literally one of the nicest fighters in the world, and like, you can kick everyone's ass. Like, who would hate you?
I don't know, just people that are like, I know Valerie, whatever. And they have like 10 followers.
Valerie fans in your Instagram messages, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Does that make you want to like beat her up a little bit more?
Not as much, but like my posts, like, they'll just be like one comment. I'm just putting laughy faces on a lot of them, just because I know the more comments, the more it would get boosted. So I'm fine with it. But people are like, I think the post I made was something like, I get to hit this girl as hard as I want on next Friday, whatever. Like, that's not disrespectful. It's just exciting. Like, I'm sure she's excited the same way I am. And then somebody was like, you punch her, like, she's going to punch you and you're going to be out, or something like that. And I just laughed. And they were like, we'll see who's laughing. I'm like, who are you? I don't even like know who you are. Like, you have like 10 followers on Instagram. And I have no clue.
That is amazing. Does that kind of make you want to beat her up a little bit more? Shut her fans up?
A little bit. Like, it does give me a little more motivation. But I'm just excited. I love fighting, and I've worked really hard, so I'm just excited.
Hannah, you're someone I talked to a couple of years ago, and I followed your career ever since, and you've had great success early on. When you see somebody like Valerie, who has also had early success and kind of does it her own way, when I compare you two, like, you're a fighter, and this is no disrespect towards Valerie, but I think Valerie wants to grow her brand in a different way than you do. You want to grow your brand as a fighter. So the one question I wanted, like the major question I wanted to ask you is, why is it so important for Hannah Guy to grow her name and her brand as a fighter, not as a female fighter, not as a woman or an Instagram celebrity, but simply as a fighter? Why is that so important to you?
I think because like, I don't want to be like get too deep on you, but like I just feel like a lot of people struggle like in life in general. Like we all have our struggles, and so like I like to be super transparent, and I feel like people like really relate to that. Like I just want to be able to be like a good role model and just kind of like be honest and like show my true self instead of like just this like highlight reel, because I know a lot of people like that can get to them. And so I don't want to be just like another highlight reel, like what everyone sees. I want to be like transparent and real. And that's super important to me.
Yeah. And that's one thing I've always admired about you, like as a person and as a fighter, is that there's no like fake show in this. There's no games for you. And I love the thought of you being an LFA, but now that you're in Bellator, I don't know if you know this, Hannah, but Bellator kind of sets the stage up for, I mean this with all respect, upsets. Like, I don't know how the betting lines per se would look for you and Valerie, but we've seen their stars or these young fighters they try to grow. We've seen them kind of crash at times. We've seen it with Aaron Pico. We've seen it with so many. Juan Archuleta gets the belt, a couple weeks, or had the belt, and then a couple weeks ago he loses it to Sergio Pettis. Do you feel like this is the perfect stage for you right now, where you're at in your career, to face someone like Valerie Loureda?
Yeah, because like we're kind of like, honestly, I've seen like videos where she's talking. She seems like a super nice girl, but I think just like the way we present ourselves is like really different as far as just how we present ourselves on social media and stuff. But yeah, I think it's definitely going to be like an upset because I feel like she hasn't fought a lot of tough people. And so like, even if we go all the way to decision, whatever, which I don't really see happening, I think either way, it's people are just going to be able to see like my skill and stuff like that. Cause nobody knows who I am. And so they just think I suck. They look at my pro record and it's just 2-1. I mean, she's 3-0. Not that big of a difference,
right?
But...
right. There's no like, real difference there.
Yeah.
But not everyone doesn't know you. I know you, Hannah, and I feel like I know when to ask the right questions, and you kind of just set me up. So I'll just ask you. You said you don't see that happening. You don't see a decision happening. Hannah, what do you see happening at Bellator 259?
I see a second round finish on my end. Maybe I just see like, I don't know, my hands have gotten super good, like way better than the past. They're still not where they would be like to fight somebody like Chris Cyborg, but obviously, but I think, and at this higher weight class, I feel like I have more power in my hands. So I think I can definitely hurt her with like my punches, and then kind of from there, take her down, hurt her on the ground. And then, I see like an armbar or a choke for sure.
What's the biggest focus for you? Because like we've talked about, right? Like this, she's kind of coming in with celebrity status, and the promotion is all behind her, and you're getting hate on Instagram, which makes no sense to me because you would kick all their asses. But what is your focus for this week? I don't know. Are you like kind of gonna play like the thing I hate is that I feel like you're not going to get the Hannah Guy respect. You're going to get Valerie's opponent respect from media, from fans, from everyone. And I don't care for it. And it's not because I've talked to you before. It's because I've followed your career. I know that you're not a Valerie opponent. You're Hannah Guy. You're right there with her. So what is your focus this week?
I'm just gonna be me. I know everyone thinks I'm the underdog in this. Just because they think if you're famous, you're a better fighter, I guess. I don't know. And I'm just gonna roll with that. I'm gonna just surprise everybody. It's gonna be cool. I'm just gonna be myself, try to be you know, because I know we'll have like some interviews next week and stuff like that, and people will see me a little bit more on you know, on all of Bellator stuff, you know. But yeah, just kind of relax and just enjoy the week, and yeah, that's it.
You know how the fight game works, and I've got to ask because they're kind of throwing me off in the interview. You're gonna rock those shades throughout fight week. Like, can that be your thing this upcoming week? Can you please rock those shades?
I love these shades because I can still see like inside, which I'm in my van right now, so it was like really sunny, and like my dog almost ran into the road, so I had to like chase her right before this interview. But she's safe now. But yeah, I guess I forgot to take them off.
No, I love it. I honestly think you should rock them throughout fight week. Like, that should be your thing.
Maybe.
Don't give me any credit for that. I just really think you should rock them all week. I think that speaks to the Hannah Guy personality. I have to ask though, what kind of dog do you have?
She's I don't really know. I found her in a ditch, but I think she has like some pit, Catahoula, cur, retriever. There's a lot going on. I don't really know. But she's super smart. So whatever she has in her, she's super smart. And she's very friendly. Like, I've never seen her even be close to biting anyone. So I don't know. She's over there. I would show you, but she's behind the seat. It's gonna be too much trouble. That's fine. If she comes out, I'll show
you. So this opportunity with Bellator, I know, again, and I hope you know I do say all of this with no disrespect, but you know, sometimes they'll bring people in to fight their popular fighters or their future superstars. How are you trying to turn this opportunity into a long-term thing for you? Is it something where you want to stay with Bellator? You just want to see what happens? Like, how are you kind of approaching what this opportunity is for you?
I'm kind of just seeing what happens. You know, kind of honestly, I'm just with whatever promotion treats me the best, whoever shows me the most respect. Like, and at the end of the day, I know it is a business, so it makes sense that they're promoting her more because they already have had her, first of all. Second of all, she has a huge social media, so if I was a business, I'd be promoting her more too. So I understand that, but as long as I'm treated with respect, you know, I'd be down for fighting for them again. You know, whatever. But it's kind of just whatever happens. I'm kind of just filling it out, because I've never been close to fighting this big of a promotion, so this is definitely the first. I've always fought like an hour or two away from home, so
well, the one thing I do love is that, you know, and again, I'm saying this not just because I know you, but there's the puppers. Not just because I know you and I followed your, well, because I followed your career, you know, I feel like in a good and bad way for Bellator, they're bringing in a dangerous opponent. Like, again, they're not just signing someone to fight Valerie. I think you know this better than most people. Eventually, it doesn't matter who you are, you have to fight real competition. And she's going to have that, you know, at Bellator 259. And I have all the respect in the world for Valerie. I feel like I'm coming off like rude towards her, and that's not the case here at all.
Yeah.
But what makes you the most dangerous opponent for her since she's been fighting?
I feel like I'm way tougher than anyone she's fought, at least as far as like the tapes that my coach has seen. And I haven't really watched anything, but I think we have a really good game plan, you know, and also I have wiggle room in that game plan. So I'm pretty good at pivoting. So if she doesn't do what I think she's going to do, I just feel like all around everything's like better. Like, she may be able to land some head kicks or whatever, land some punches, but I don't feel like any of them's very hard. I think I have way more power in my hands as long as I land, and which I think I will. And I feel like my wrestling, jiu-jitsu, everything's kind of just better. No offense to her, but I'm extremely confident in this fight.
So what is the message you send to Bellator, to your career, about your career, about yourself? What is the message you send the world with your performance at Bellator 259 against Valerie?
I guess just, I don't know. That's a tough question. I don't
mean to
know.
ask tough questions. I honestly feel like you're right on the doorstep. And what I love is that you have an opportunity here, not just to beat, somebody that's popular. You have a opportunity to grow your career and go so early on in your career. You do what I believe you can do. You're gonna skyrocket to the next level. And I'm just curious, like, you got to put the world on notice. Like, you have to do that. I don't know if you know, like, this is how the game works. Like, if you do what you were expecting to do, you're going to get a lot more interview requests. Like, you might forget about them. Like, you might never come on my interviews again. Like, you might be like, who is that guy? You might hit me with the Conor McGregor line. Like, who the F is that guy? Like, that's literally what might happen. So I'm just curious, like, I feel you can send a big message in this fight. And I'm not trying to ask tough questions, but I just feel like you can send a really big message.
Yeah, I guess people are just going to be really surprised. And I feel like, if anything, maybe I can send a message just to be real and transparent. I mean, guess kind of the same message I sent on, social media. I'm super goofy, so I'm hoping I can, like, sometimes it can be hard to show, like, all of my personality on social media. But I'm super goofy. I can't twerk. Like, I'm none of that. Like, I'm super, like, I love, like, slapstick stuff. So, just, like, being a good role model and just letting people know you don't have to, like, if you don't want to, you don't have to put your booty all over Facebook, or Instagram. If that's what she wants to do, no disrespect to her, but just so women know, like, you don't have to sell yourselves that way.
I've always admired that about you, like, not as a fighter thing, but as a person thing, because I believe we're close in age here. We know how social media works these days.
Yeah.
And like, I can't, if it makes you feel any better, Hannah, I can't twerk either. I tried. I can't twerk either. It's just a thing. It's like, I'm sorry that it doesn't happen. Yeah. Thankfully, I'm not being lined up in a cage against someone who can twerk. But I completely understand where you're coming from. But one thing I've always really liked about following your career is that you haven't fed into that, right? You haven't fed into that female fighter, sex sells, like, kind of like almost lifestyle. Like, you're simply a fighter. And for me, why is it something that, or how do you plan to kind of just let women know, like, or young girls know, like, hey, if this is what you want to do, you don't have to do it that way. You don't have to sell it by your body. You can sell it by your performances. Is that kind of something that you want to pass along to people who may be following your career?
For sure. Yeah. And just letting them know it may take a little bit longer, for people to notice you, whatever. Because, I mean, people notice that first, But, if you just work hard, have dedication, you can get anywhere in life, really. I mean, in the fight game, unfortunately, followers matter. If I did not fight, I would not give two shits about how many followers I have on anything. Like, I hate social media. I would rather, like, play with my dog here. I'd rather, like, hang out with my friends, like, at the gym, spend time with my family. Like, that's what I would rather do. But unfortunately, I have to care about social media. So I try to do it in a way that would make me proud one day. So
what are your plans for your for your career moving forward? I mean, this is a big fight. And you have, this is a big fight for you, and you only go up from here. I mean, I think you have great management behind you. You have a great team and coaches behind you. I think they've also told you this. Like, there's no steps back anymore. You only go up from here. And I think I've made it known how I feel this fight is going to go. But with all that being said, how do you look at this fight as a way that you're going to maneuver your career from this day on?
I mean, I know it's going to open up opportunities for me for sure. And even if in the slight chance that I lost, I'm sure Bellator would want me to fight again because I know they don't have a lot of females. So that's definitely an advantage, you know, just generally. But, you know, no matter what, I enjoy fighting. I also enjoy what I do on a day-to-day basis. You know, I just love training in general. I'm hoping if I can get my weight cut where I want it to be, where it's not miserable, because the last two fights have been very miserable on my weight cuts. As long as I can get that down, then I definitely plan to continue fighting. And, you know, I know those opportunities will keep coming, whether I win or lose, honestly. But, you know, just keep working hard and getting better as a martial artist in general is important to me.
Have you kind of changed anything leading up to this fight for your weight cut?
Well, I'm fighting up a weight class, so that helps. And I'm only 10 pounds out right now, 10, 11. So that's already better than the past. You know, my last fight was a catch weight because the girl really didn't want to do 25. She wanted to do 20. And neither one of us made weight. My coach said, okay, we can't cut anymore. Like, it's unsafe. This coming up week, I have a nutritionist that kind of reached out to me, and he's going to provide all my meals and everything. So that right there is relieving a lot of stress for me, because the weight cut's usually the only thing I stress about, because I know I put in the work as far as, you know, getting my cardio right. You know, I train more than enough. I recover well. You know, I've kept my body really healthy. So, you know, I think as far as like future weight cuts being better, you know, staying at this weight class is probably a good idea. And keeping my weight lower in the off seasons, because I think I've kind of messed up my metabolism with that a little bit. So getting off from this fight and doing my nutrition correctly, I think will make it a lot better for future fights for sure.
By the way, your fight next Friday. We're doing this interview on Saturday, and it's still absolutely fucking ridiculous to me about weight cuts. So I just want people who are watching this to know, like, you just said you're 10 pounds out. So that means from between Saturday and Thursday, you're about to lose 10 pounds. I can't even lose 10 pounds in like 6 months or gain 10 pounds in 5 years. I've been the same weight for the last like 5 years. So I still think it's absolutely crazy how you fighters go about your weight cuts. But for you, Hannah, being young, being a female fighter, being a woman and with a fighter first mentality, you're so, like, the thing that excites me about this fight isn't the matchup or the styles. It's that you're both so young and you can really only get better and go up from here. And you're in a sport where, like, you ladies have so many opportunities now to kind of take the world, you know, by the balls, you know, and do some amazing things. Do you feel like you're at the right place in your life and in your career to achieve everything you've set out to do?
I think so. I think as long as I get my nutrition down and, you know, as far as that goes, just so I don't hate my life during fight camps, you know, I think I forgot exactly what the question was, but, you know, I think that will, as far as opportunities, you know, I'll only want them if my life doesn't suck for 8 weeks. So if I can get that down, then I'll want to continue fighting for sure.
Well, I cannot wait for the fight. I'm super excited for you. I'm super happy for you. I know how hard you've worked. It's been such a joy to follow your career. And you know, sometimes it's something Hollywood couldn't even write. You know, you've got the Instagram celebrity against just that true fighter grit, and that's what you are. And you have such a different direction than she does. And honestly, they say styles make fights, but I think personalities write the fight. And I can't wait to see you in there. I know this is an amazing opportunity for you. I really like, from a style standpoint, how this fight matches up with you and Valerie Loureda. It goes down at Bellator 259. Hannah, thank you so much for your time. I wish you all the best, and hopefully we could talk after the fight.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.